Mic check. Testing 1, 2. Hello and welcome to today's live. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching me from, you are welcome to this evening's live. Today we are going to be taking some more questions about videography and and see what we can learn from there. So if you have any questions, you can just let me know. Otherwise, we are live on all social media platforms at the moment. And as we are waiting for people to tune in right now, please help me to share the video. Help me to share the video if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on TikTok, if you're watching on YouTube, help me to share the video. We're just gonna have like 5 minutes to let people join. And today we're just gonna be taking some of the questions in videography, and particularly I'm going to be discussing about most videographers have been asking me about what camera should I use. And as a professional, the camera to me doesn't really matter, but it is something. So I want to just really discuss more about that, because if you're asking for what kind of equipment you need because you want to take in clients, there's different types of videographers. These days we have content creators, like they create videos for themselves and upload it to TikTok, YouTube. The cameras that such people need is different from a camera like the one that I will need myself as a professional. So that is what I'm going to be discussing, just to talk a little bit about cameras. And you guys, you can also let me know if you have any questions on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're watching me from. So help me to share the stream as we are waiting for people to join. Help me to share the stream. And the lighting is not that much. I'm just trying to increase the yeah, much better. All right. So help me to share the stream wherever you are watching me from today. It is another really awesome live. So if you have any questions, whether you are into videography, whether you are a content creator, whether you create videos for other people, whether you are in broadcast, just let me know. Let me know. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, just let me know wherever you are watching me from. And also help me to share the stream wherever you are watching me from. So we're talking about particular equipment, beginner equipment, because I've been talking about equipment a lot. And for me, equipment doesn't really matter, but it is something. If you are a videographer who is doing videography services for clients, the kind of equipment you need matters in terms of how to, in terms also of helping you securing clients. So if you have any questions that is related to videography, let's ask in the comment section. That's why I'm here today. It's a Q&A questions. It's a Q&A. Help me to share the stream. I'm also trying to share the stream as quickly as possible. I can see Tony Njimba is saying, hey, Pedro, thank you so much for joining, Tony. I can see Boru Paul watching via TikTok. Thank you so much, Boru. Thank you. Everybody who is watching, whether it is Instagram, whether it is YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, you are welcome. If you have any questions that you've been always wanting to ask in videography, you can ask, whether it is softwares, whether it is whatever question that you might have, whatever that you don't understand, whether it's camera settings, whatever that you don't understand, you can ask now, so that I can answer all those questions on today's live. All right. Help me also to share the stream wherever you are watching. Share the stream. If you are in Facebook, share. If you are on TikTok, share, so that we can have more people to join. All right. I have passion for photography. Which camera can I use to start my journey of photography? So this is Mr. Boru. Mr. Boru, I want to find out something from you. If you're asking about what kind of camera, you know, starting a photography journey doesn't start with a camera. It starts with the knowledge of photography. So if I have to recommend a camera to you, I'll recommend a camera based on how much you know in photography or in videography. So how much do you know? Are you like a complete beginner, like you know nothing about photography? Or are you an intermediate? You have some knowledge about photography, you know, you have been doing here and there, or are you a professional? So just let me know, Mr. Boru, so that I can recommend a question. I can recommend a camera for you. Oh, come on, where is my live stream? I can't see my live. Otherwise, wherever you are joining me, thank you so much for joining. Wherever you are joining me, thank you so much for joining. We are live today. I'm taking a lot of questions, and it's just 1 hour live stream, so make sure we're not going to be here for a long time. We're not going to be here for more than 1 hour. So yeah, let's do snappy. If you have any questions, let me know. But I'm also going to just be sharing something with regards to, you know, cameras, especially beginner cameras. I'm also trying to share the stream to my social media platforms, so help me to share as well. Help me to share the stream as well. I can see Facebook people, they are tuning in. I can see Facebook people, they are tuning in. Someone is writing in Portuguese. And unfortunately, even though I'm Portuguese, I cannot read Portuguese. Let's share the stream, guys. Let's share the stream. And if you have any questions that is related to videography, that's what we are doing today. Today, it's a Q&A questions. It's a Q&A. All right. So if you have any questions that has to do with videography, let me know. We are about to start. We are just sharing right now. I'm just sharing the stream to other social media platforms so that people can also join. I am a complete beginner, but I watch videos on YouTube about tips and camera settings. All right, so that is where the big problem is, you know. If you are really starting with videography, if you really want to excel, whether it is photography or videography, a camera is not the place to start, right? You need to have a few other, you have to be equipped with other few things. You know, you really have to understand a little bit about photography, you know. I have so many people who actually really go like Mr. Boru, just go and watch a few YouTube videos and then try to look for a good camera and then go in the field and find out that they can't really produce good imagery. So you could get started with a camera like the 5D Mark IV for photography, a Nikon D750. Those are really good cameras. And if you really know cameras and settings and all that, I think those should be really good. All right. But if you're really going to just do photography, 5D Mark III is going to be good, or 6D Mark II is also going to be good. All right, I'm just mentioning full frame cameras because I know when it comes to photography, that's so important. When it goes to lenses, I don't know what kind of photography you want to do. That's why I was asking, how much do you know? You know, are you going to do landscape photography, portrait photography, in controlled studio photography, or street photography? Such kind of stuff, you need to understand all those kind of stuff. That's why I have made a lot of courses through which you can learn, especially if you want to become a videographer. Learning the skill, learning the knowledge, or knowing a few things about the industry is very important even before you reach to a level where you are buying a camera. Okay, thank you. Mr. Edward is watching all the way from Kenya. Thank Thank you, Mr. Edward, for joining. Make sure you share the stream. Let's share the stream, guys. Let's share the stream. Today, most people don't expect me to be live this time. So if we don't share, we're not going to have a lot of people joining and they're going to miss. I want to do wedding photography, street shoots, and parties. All right, so the cameras that I just mentioned to you will work, right? And also, anytime you're buying a camera, there are so many things that you need to consider. Number one, the price. How much is your budget? Number two, the camera sensor, because this is the part of the camera hardware that captures light and converts it in the image. So we have, like Micro Four Third, APS-C, full frame sensors. We have Super 35, right? So you have to understand all those stuff. And then, and also after you understand all those kind of stuff and also see how they can, they can be a part of your workflow. All right, and then you have also to understand a few camera settings and stuff like that. So a 6D Mark II, for me, if I was starting photography today, I'll start obviously with a 5D Mark III because I love that camera. That is the first camera that I bought. That is like the third camera that I bought, but I was so based in videography, so I didn't use it much. But for photography, I still know a lot of big photographers who use that camera, but you can also get the 5D Mark IV. You can get the Sony A7S Mark II, the Sony A7R2. Any camera, especially if you are into photography, I would really recommend you get a full frame camera. All right. Thank you so much. A Nikon D50 is good as well. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's great. Let's share the stream. I'm about to start. If you have any questions, whether it is editing, photography, business, whatever, just ask so that we can see what we can learn. We can see what we can learn. Otherwise, it's always awesome to be here. Today, I'm a bit early because I'm going somewhere after this live. Like around 7, I'll be out of here. My stuff have already been packed. It's wonderful. So yeah, I also don't want to miss any of these live sessions because they're helping a lot of people actually. Some of the people who are watching my live streams about live streaming and stuff, I checked some of their profiles. They're implementing this stuff, and that's what encourages us to go live. All right, on YouTube, Mr. Mocheko, if one wants to start in videography, where should I start? You can start from learning the art of videography itself, all right? Because mostly people think when you are starting videography, you need a camera first because the camera is the one that captures videos, but that is not the case. A camera is just really part of a lot of other stuff that you're gonna need. The first thing is to equip yourself with the knowledge and understand a few things in the industry itself. One of the things that helped me, to become where I am now in videography is because I started by learning, not because I didn't want to start with a camera. There wasn't just money for camera, which was a good thing. So I started by learning a lot of other stuff in videography, like a lot, And the time that I had a chance to really have the opportunity to hold a camera, I used it to the max because I already understood, videography. There's so much more that is involved more than just really having a camera and some lights. There's a storytelling. Even if you had that camera, you need to understand camera settings. What kind of camera angles will you need? What kind of camera movements will you use? And what do they mean? What kind of lighting situations, And to learn all those kind of stuff, it's easier because you can learn all those kind of stuff for free on Facebook, but you wouldn't really know which one comes first and which one comes last. So most videographers, they actually really start from things that are so advanced, like they'll go there and, start Googling things like, what are the best compositions? How do I create really good compositions? Fine, it's a good thing to learn about composition, but if you are starting, that is not the first thing to learn. You have to learn a lot of other stuff, like how a camera works, how to take advantage of a camera, things to look out for in a camera. If you hold your camera like this in your hands, where do you start from when you are setting up your camera and things like that? And these are the stuff that I teach in all these courses of mine. I have 7 courses that teach the whole complete videography the whole complete videography from beginner to professional, you know. So I have courses here for, you know, DSLR, the one that teaches you how to shoot. I have a course here for video editing. I have a course for color grading. I have a course for music videos. I have a course for wedding videos. I have a course for business. You know, how do you market yourself? How do you get clients? You know, what are some of the side hustles that you need to get to do in videography in order to generate income? Because you can be a wedding videographer. You know, maybe wedding videography is even better. But you can be maybe an events videographer, and those events, they have got their seasons. You know, in times like the winter that we are getting in now, there's just really few events. Maybe we can start having events August, September, October, November, December. So in the period when you don't have projects, what other things can you do as a videographer to make money? So you get all those kind of stuff in my course, videography businesses. This is where if you actually really want to get started professionally, start by getting this course, videography business, because this is where I even speak about the exploring your passion. You know, I give a lot of hints to see if videography is gonna work for you or not. I even show you a little, you know, like whether you're going to make money or not. So I have really explained a lot. And then if you start with this course after you know that, okay, this is how I'm gonna get clients. This thing is gonna work for me. This is how I should approach it. This is the first course actually that I can advise someone to go through all of it. I know it's long, but just go through all of it. Then you can start learning. Even when you are learning now, you know exactly what you are learning. All right. So this is where you should start from. This is Mr. Mocheko. You need to equip yourself with the knowledge of videography. And then the next question, for an editor, which software do you recommend? I'm trying to move to DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is free. That is good. Adobe Premiere Pro is also free, especially if you are, you know, in my classes, you get free Adobe Premiere Pro classes, softwares. But I always recommend Adobe Premiere Pro because it's a little bit universal, you know, like you can use it together with other Adobe software suite, you know, like After Effects. You can combine them and it's easier, right? So that is the software that I usually recommend, because if you go back to Adobe 2017, 2018, it just needs really small computer requirement. Doesn't really need even an 8 GB RAM computer. You can actually really edit good videos, right? But then it also depends which software you are really used to, because remember, these are just really tools. A software doesn't edit videos. It is the person who is editing. The way you are mixing your software, the way you are mixing your clips, the sound design, the workflow. So when it comes to which software is which, it really depends. The one that just go through both of them, or maybe different softwares, and see which one really has the things that you need, you know. The reason why I moved to Adobe Premiere Pro is because the stuff that I was editing at some point, I was editing using, you know, a Filmora at some point. I was using Sony Vegas at some point. You know, I'm talking about 10, 12 years when I was starting. But then I started realizing that it was very difficult to layer clips on top of each other. So I was looking for a software that can have a lot of multiple video timelines, video lines, where I can put one video on top of another and another like that. That's how I landed in Adobe Premiere Pro, and I saw that it was the perfect software for me because I could do everything that I thought I wanted to do. So even when DaVinci Resolve was actually not editing in 2014, we were just using it for color grading. But even when they actually really introduced, like, you can actually really edit, they put this whole UI that can enable you to edit, I didn't really see much of the need to migrate. I still use Adobe Premiere, I still use DaVinci Resolve for collaborative projects and stuff like that. But mostly when I'm doing, whether it's my YouTube video, it's a wedding video, it's a music video, most of the time I use Adobe Premiere Pro. All right. I was shooting a video, Mr. Ronald Inosa, this is from YouTube. I was shooting a music video today for TikTok. I had changed on the weather. There wasn't stable. I couldn't what to do at that time because the sun came out and go. I'm from South Sudan. Okay. All right. So every time you are shooting a video, there are 3 things that you need to consider. Every time you are shooting a video using natural lighting, there are 3 things that you need to consider. The first thing is time of the day that you are shooting your video. Midday is not really a good time to shoot videos because the lighting is not flattering, you know, causes people to squint their eyes and stuff like that, and the sunlight is harsh during midday. So the good time to shoot your videos, if you are using natural lighting, is during golden hour. The 1 hour after sunrise and the 1 hour before sunset, as well as what we call blue hour or twilight hour, the 30 minutes before sunrise and the 30 minutes after sunset. So those are really good times to shoot videos, you know, especially most of my students, lighting, I've seen like lighting, it's still kind of like a problem. Not really my student, but random people who actually, because people who are in the course already, they know this stuff. But random people from, you know, Facebook, filmmakers who join the groups and stuff like that, they always send me their videos. And one big thing that I still see, which is a challenge, is lighting. They shoot their videos any time of the day. And you can see this guy had really good concept, had really good camera movements, even his composition is good, but the lighting was taking out everything. So make sure, number 1 is time. Number 2 is camera direction. Where you place your camera while it's shooting during natural lighting is very important. You know, for me, you know, if you go into, let's dive a little bit into artificial lighting. When you are setting up your 3-point lighting, we have the key light, the fill light, and the backlight. So the backlight helps to separate your subject from the background, and it really brings this cinematic feel in your video. So when you are shooting using natural lighting, make sure you put the sun at the back so that it can create a sort of like a backlight, and also the sun will not be coming directly into the artist or into your talent's eyes, creating these harsh shadows. So when the sun is at the back, their face is going to be evenly lit. You can even use a reflector to reflect some of that light back in the talent. But that is number 2, camera direction. I explained a lot in details in my course, right? DSLR cinematic filmmaking. The other thing, the third thing, is weather. You know, so before you go and shoot, make sure, and I can guarantee you, 90% of everybody who is watching here now, they don't do this. You know, every time you're going to shoot, make sure you check the weather. You know, have the app, go on Google and check how the weather is going to be in the place where you are going to shoot. There are so many stuff. That's what I'm saying. It is not really like the camera that comes first when you are starting your videography. You know, before you go and shoot, obviously we have pre-production where you check the talent, you check the places, you do location scouting and stuff like that. Don't be in a habit of going to a location that you don't know. You know, it's not professional. And if you get used that way, one day you're going to meet someone who is very serious in production and they're going to ask you to shoot, then you just say, let's go. And they're going to look at you as unprofessional. So make sure you go and check the place, check what time you're going to be in that place, you know. Make sure you communicate these things if you are the director or you are the producer, to the producer, right? So those are the 3 things. So if you reach in the level where light is coming and going, the thing is, I have been in such situation many times. So it is either you only wait when the sun is gone. If you are like trying to shoot in the weather, you are trying to shoot using cloud weather, you know. When we are talking about weather in natural lighting, we are talking about sometimes you can shoot when there's clouds, because the clouds act like a giant soft light, you know, soft box. So the lighting isn't harsh and it's really smooth. It's flattering especially on the faces. So it is also a really good time to shoot when there's clouds. But there are clouds that are so dark. And if it is too sunny, you can't shoot when the light is too much. So make sure if you land in that situation, don't compromise on your production quality. You know, me, I don't compromise. If I go to a set and I checked the weather, I saw that the weather was going to be perfect, and then we go there, it starts to rain, I'll cancel the shoot, and I'll tell the artist or whoever I'm working with to say it's better we shoot tomorrow, or we change the script a little bit, because for whatever reason I don't compromise my shoots. All right. For personal content using phones, where one starts, and how much lighting should one invest in as a minimum? All right, a lot of this stuff, I have really covered them in details in my courses. In these courses that you are seeing there, you can check them out on that website to enroll in those courses. But the amount of lighting you need. All right, let's start with the phone itself. Mostly, if you are a content creator, you shoot videos for TikTok, you shoot videos for YouTube, and not really for YouTube, but for Facebook, like Instagram. You can start actually with your phone. Nowadays, phones can really create good videos. We have seen, all right? So using your phone also, you can actually even really take it to the next level of, where you can actually dial in proper cinematic settings. You can download apps, third-party apps like Filmic Pro if you are using iPhone, or Blackmagic. There's an app called Blackmagic for people who are using iPhone, and also DSLR camera app. You can download those softwares, and they can change your smartphone into something that has a DSLR menu where you can adjust a few things like the aperture, you can set white balance, you can set, shutter speed and stuff like that. So where you start from is actually really understanding the how videos are created, like if you are having a camera in your hands, it's not really like you're going to point the camera and just shoot everything. You need to do a little bit of settings. You need to do a little bit of, what camera angles are you using, what camera movements are you using. If it is a vlogging type of style, still you have to understand a little bit about basic lighting and stuff. So for phone lighting for the phone doesn't really need that much, because the phone has got this AI feature. It actually analyzes the scene and try to brighten the image, so you don't really need high-end lighting. You can just get really what you call this ring lighting. You can get some of those really nice ring lights, or you can get some of those, there's some lights that I was selling here on this channel at some point. They were really good, very small, like the size of this iPad, and they were so bright, they were bicolor. So if I, just WhatsApp me, maybe I can send some of the recommendations. All right, we don't have more questions on YouTube. Let's go to Facebook. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. It's a Q&A today. That's what we are doing. That's what we are doing. So let's see if we have questions on Facebook. All right. Mr. Musonda is watching. Thank you, Mr. Musonda, for joining us today. Today we have electricity. I'm watching. Angelo Pote is watching. Kelani is watching. Thank you guys for joining. Selector Stavo, he is asking, what do I need to invest in? I want to start something different, like shooting food commercials, ads, food videography, and restaurant reviews. Obviously, you need to invest in a good camera. The first investment actually is you need to understand the whole language of videography. You need to understand your way in videography. So if you understand how to shoot, you understand how to edit, that is the first part. You understand how to color grade, you understand how to do all those stuff, that is the first part. So you have to invest in the knowledge, you have to learn all the camera settings, you have to learn all those kind of stuff. And then secondly, you have to invest in a good camera, right? So a good camera will also be, in my course DSLR cinematic filmmaking, I was talking about a good selecting a good camera. You need to check your budget. There's always something that is going to fit in your budget. There are cameras now that are selling even for $150, but you can still really make amazing videos. So it also goes with your budget. But if I was starting the kind of stuff that you are talking right now, I was going to invest in a camera like the 5D Mark IV. Number one, it has got a good autofocus system. Number two, it has got a good color science. Number three, it is a 4K camera. So number four, it is a full frame, but it's going to be pricey. And if you get a lens like the 24 to 70mm f2.8, that's a combo. Then you can get some lighting, like one of those Godox continuous video lighting, with a Bowens mount, and you can have a soft box, especially if you are going to be doing shooting food. You need lighting to be, even. You don't really want harsh lighting and stuff like that. All right, you can get everything in one of my courses, especially DSLR cinematic filmmaking. It will help you in the process of creating a video from beginner to pro. Let's go on some questions. Fernando is watching all the way from Mozambique. Thank you, Fernando. I dreamt working with you on a music video, bro. I wish my dream came true and see my experience on videographer. I know we shall work together. The world is too small. We shall work together. Today, I'm watching from Zim. Nice. Mr. Phineas Sambo is also watching from Malawi. Mr. Phineas Sambo is watching all the way from Malawi. Cyrus Mavoshe was expecting long hair. The long hair is gone. Jesus died. Now this is the resurrection. Would you recommend automatic mode when shooting a video? That is Mr. Solim Magoro. I wouldn't recommend it for professional videography. You need to, Mr. Solim, I think you are in my class. So there are also times where I use auto, but when I'm not doing professional link. But yeah, if you really don't understand camera settings that much, if you don't understand anything about cameras, shooting on auto will be your safest, because in trying to adjust things that you don't understand, you might as well make things worse. So if you don't understand, if you don't trust yourself like you understand the camera, I think shooting on auto is going to have an advantage for you. And then you can maybe try to fix everything in post, but I wouldn't recommend it. So anytime you get a camera and you want to start filming something, make sure you put it in manual. That's all. All right. Watching from Free State. Thank you, Mr. Febas Photo Studio, watching from Free State. Thank you. That is the home city for my wife. That's where my wife is coming from. All right, watching from Zambia. Okay, great. Let's go to TikTok. If we have questions, keep your questions coming. Whatever that you always wanted to ask in videography, keep them coming. So in TikTok here, after enrollment, do you offer what qualifications? Do you offer a certificate, and what qualification will I have? When you enroll, of course, you get a certificate of completion. I think I have some of those certificates in my computer that I gave to the people who completed, because the courses themselves, they are not really like, a talking head kind of course. They are really practical in nature. So there's exercises, there's assignments, there's all those kind of stuff that you need to complete after a chapter. So every chapter, at the end of the chapter, you get an exercise so that you can put your knowledge to test, and you submit all those back to us, to me. Then I look at your work, I advise where you need to improve, and once you enroll as well, it's not like you get the course, you get your certificate, then that's all. No, every person who has ever enrolled until today, since 2022 when the course launched, we are still in touch. Whenever you have a gig, you need to buy cameras, you can always ask. If there's something wrong, you are filming, you want to get a certain look, you can always ask even after the course. So this is like a relationship that doesn't end, especially if you get a premium access. Even the courses that will be uploaded later, you still have access to them. All right, so you get a certificate of completion, an e-learning e-certificate, electronic certificate of completion, as well as you don't need any qualification about apart from the enrollment fee. All right, when are you coming to Polokwane? I don't know, but maybe very soon. We are starting to do our workshops, so we're gonna have like we're gonna move to different places. I hope Polokwane will be one of them. Can you teach online and have a certificate? 100%. 100%. There's a lot of online courses. In fact, these days, online courses are the way to go, because YouTube information is not arranged in a chronological order. It's everywhere. It doesn't have the start and the end. So online courses are a little bit in between YouTube and filming school. You know, filming school, they are expensive. They take a lot of time. And honestly, a lot of stuff that you learn at film school, most of them doesn't really even apply in a real shoots. You know, you just have really knowledge that you're not gonna use. So learning from, online classes, like people, including myself and other professionals who have created online courses, at least you are learning first-hand information of someone who is doing it on a daily basis. So even if you have a question as a student, they will know exactly what to answer to you. All right. Please, do you have a lesson class for me to join? Yes, I have classes. I was just showing all my classes right now. So I have all these classes that you can see on your screen. All these classes, I have 7 classes right now. I have 7 classes right now that you can enroll in. So these are the classes. To get all the access, to have all access to these classes, you just pay $110. And then from there, I will continue to mentor you even afterward. And if you are purchasing this class, I'm giving away some of the equipment right now. There's some equipment that I'm giving away. So if you are purchasing any of these classes, the first 10 people that are purchasing these classes, now we are on number 5. The first 10 people who are purchasing these classes, I have cameras that I'm not using, like this Blackmagic Production Cinema Camera 4K. This camera is amazing in so many ways. I'm giving it away. It comes with a body only. So the camera works properly. There isn't any problem with it. This is one of the items that I'm giving away to the first 10 people that are getting the class. And then there is also this drone. I'm also giving away this drone, the DJI Phantom 4. I'm not using this drone. I packed it. It had a small scratch there. The cables got broken. So you just need to change the landing gear, which is like $100 to change them. So I'm giving away all these items. All right. So you just purchase any of these courses here, you automatically enter in that program where you can win any of this stuff. For some of you who are asking me, hey, what are the payment options? These are the payment options that are available. You can even use MoneyGram, you can use PayPal, you can use Mukuru, Mama Money, Western Union, or if you are around South Africa, you can even do a direct deposit. All this information is already on the website there. So everything is there. Everything is there. And for you to get started, this is the website where you can find all those courses. All right, let's see if we have new questions coming in. Let's see if we have new questions coming in. How is the charges? The charges are there on the website. Just go to ufc.unifyinventive.net. The link is there on your screen, and all the charges are there. But to get all the courses, all the 7 courses that are available now, it is $110. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Vinny. Please, do you have, okay, we have answered these questions. We have answered this question. Let's see if we have more questions on YouTube. Let's see if we have more questions on YouTube. No more questions. All right, so if there are no more questions, there's something that I wanted to discuss, especially with regards to the equipment. So there's like 4 levels or 5 levels of production. There's, the first level of production, or the first level of camera. Like, let's say there's 5 different types of camera people, or people who are into videography right now. So the first level is, like people who shoot videos for their, documentation, for their home use only. They are not doing it for internet. They are not doing it to upload. They are not doing it for any client. But these are our grandmothers when they go to a party and they are taking their video with their phone, or maybe with a small camera. Those are the first group. So we are not concerned about that group. And then the second group is the content creators. If you are a content creator, it means you're going to be creating videos to upload. And for you to actually really like make it on the social media space, your video doesn't really have to be regular. You can have like a really good concept, but if you can match that good concept with some slightly good quality video, your content can blow up easily and people can appreciate your content. So what cameras do you need in that category? You can use really cheaper cameras, because you are not really actually working for a client, So there's this thing of cameras or the equipment that you use giving confidence in the client. So most people who ask me to say, okay, what is the cheapest camera that I can get? The cheapest camera, there's always really like a cheap camera that can do good videos. There's cameras like the Lumix GH4 or the Lumix G7. Those are really cheap cameras like the Canon M50. Those are small, good cameras that can produce really high quality videos, especially in the hands of a professional. But if you show up with a small camera like that on set, it might, make your client lose confidence in what you are doing. So there is this trade-off. There's this trade-off. I explained this concept nicely in my videography business course. Like, having a good camera doesn't necessarily make you a good videographer, but it can increase the chances of you being hired by clients, because they might think you are serious about your videography and stuff like that. So you need to, when you are talking about, when people are talking about cameras doesn't matter, or cameras is not really, the cameras isn't everything. Yes, it is true. And also when people say cameras really matter, it is also true, because at my level, I can get by with any camera like the Lumix GH4, like that is a really good camera. It's a perfect camera. I've been using that camera ever since it came out in 2016 until 2017 when GH5 came out. I got the GH5. I've been using the GH5 until somewhere around 2021. Then I got the GH5S and then the GH5 Mark II. I've been loving Lumix cameras. But I was never really like using those cameras by just really holding it in the hand. I'll make sure I put a nice rig around it. I have like a good monitor there. I have, all the other stuff that makes me look a professional. So when I show up on set, it instantly, creates this level of confidence in the client. So cameras can matter, especially if you're looking at the business perspective. But if you are just really like a person who wants to create content and stuff, I don't really think cameras will matter. I don't really think cameras will matter that much. Okay. So that is that is one of the things that most people are always debating about, to say, that's why we have videographers now who, when they're starting a videography, all they think about is camera, Cameras, for me as a professional, I choose a camera. You can see in my studio I have different cameras. If I'm going to meet a client who wants to do, like it's a commercial advert, of course, they are going to pay a lot of money, and they need to see, they need to have this level of confidence even before I show them what I'm capable of doing, or the final product. But just whilst I'm shooting, they need to show, they need to have this confidence to say, this guy is actually really doing our job. Like it makes them look like they made a right decision. But if they paid you a lot of money, like some of the commercials that have been part of, we work a commercial of 300,000 rands, that's really a lot of money. And just imagine you show up with a camera that just fits in your hands like this. You see, so you don't really have to necessarily buy a bigger camera. You have to actually really take time to explore the level of videography where you are. Are you working with clients? And if it is clients, what kind of clients are you working with? It's not really worth it, like your guy friend, just a neighbor, is a musician, he does music, and you want to shoot him a video. You don't really have to go and buy a bigger camera, because you can still really get amazing result even with a cheaper camera. He will understand, because he's just like a friend. He's not really like a bigger client. But if you really want to start attracting bigger clients, you have to also invest bigger. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. We only have 5 minutes. We only have 5 minutes, 10 at most. The Big Shark is watching. Thank you so much, the Big Shark. He's the Forex trader. You should check Big Shark. He's a Forex trader. Actually, even taught me some Forex trading, And then Aziz is asking, where are you from? I'm currently in South Africa, but I'm relocating to Zambia. I'm relocating to Zambia anytime soon. So yeah, maybe I'm just having 2 or 3 months remaining here in South Africa. Then I'm relocating to Zambia, maybe for another good 1 year. So Zambia, I can't wait to see you. I have a Canon 5G Mark IV, but editing is the problem. So if you are having problems with editing, just get my video editing class. It goes from the beginner, even if you know nothing about any software. I start by showing you exactly what you need, what computer requirements, how to download softwares, the software of your choice, how to install it, going through the whole interface, showing you each and every button, what it does. Then we get into editing, like how to add effects, how to add transitions, how to add templates, all those good stuff. They are there in the video editing class, very detailed class. So if you have your camera and you are having problems of editing, just get my videography editing class. It will be really something you appreciate your whole entire filmmaking career. What is the first investment in videography after skills? The first investment you need to, I don't know if I should call this one as an investment, but there's what we call, all right, the next thing after your investing in the skills, of course, you need to create a portfolio. So between the skills to a point where you are creating a portfolio, there's something that you need to do in between, because remember, you just gotten the skills. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody has seen what you have done. So you have to sort of like create a few projects that you have to show. So there is this, maybe I'll call it a sacrificial part, where you work on projects for free, you charge very little in an attempt to make a portfolio. So once you have your portfolio, then we go to marketing now, the business side of videography, which is one of the courses that you can get. So how do you market yourself now? how do you make sure you get clients that you desire, you know? Like for me, I started like by myself alone, you know. I never really had connections in the industry. There's nobody who actually introduced me somewhere to say, oh, there's this guy, please try him. No, I just really like worked my way up at every stage, learning a few things. Certain things worked, certain things didn't work. I learned a few things from other people asking and stuff like that. Certain things worked for them. Certain things didn't work for them, you know. I tried a lot. Like I've been in the industry for the past 16 years. So even in my course is a summary of all the stuff that I did which worked for me to be working with really upcoming artists and upcoming talents, you know, working all the way with all the celebrities that you can mention about here in South Africa. I've worked with everybody, you know. I've worked with almost everyone, big organizations and stuff like that. So after skills, make sure you sacrifice to create a good portfolio. And I have described in my course what you need to do in order for you to create good portfolio. You know, sometimes you hear Mr. Wise, like myself, I'm going for a shoot and I'm in your area. Come with me. Help me to do maybe behind the scenes and stuff like that. And then later you can ask me to say, can I use some of those things in my portfolio? You know, and we're going to talk about this marketing thing tomorrow, actually. How you charge, how you come up with pricing so that clients shouldn't run away or you shouldn't undervalue your work and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff. You can't just really, if you are used of selling in a shop or selling airtime or selling phones, the videography business is slightly different, you know. It's artistic, actually. You have to be an artist, a business artist. The way you charge, it has to be artistically, because if you want to charge with the way you charge when you are selling phones or computers or whatever you are selling, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. All right. I love your work. Mvili Media, thank you so much, Mvili. Thank you so much. Mr. Grasshopper, the producer. What a name, guys. Is 700D good for videos? It is good, and also depends on the skills behind it. Any camera is really good, but it depends on the skills behind it and also where you are trying to publish your video. Where are you trying to distribute your video, you know? So certain organizations like Netflix, they've got approved cameras for Netflix. So you can't really use any other camera, even if it is as good as even some of the other approved cameras. So you have to use their cameras. So sometimes when I get a project, they'll specify what type of cameras I need to use, right? So it doesn't really make other cameras not good, but that is the specific camera that they need for that project. So 700D is an amazing camera, but it depends where you are trying to who is your distributor, as well as the skills behind the camera itself. All right, is Sony A7R5 good for videos? Wonderful camera. It's very good for videos, really good. All right, we are remaining with 4 minutes to close the stream. We are remaining with 4 minutes to close the stream. Let's see if we have questions. I bought a Blackmagic camera 4K. I'm not yet used to it. I'm trying to master it fast. I need your advice so I can use it professionally in the future project. So what advice do you need? If you are trying to actually like master your camera, make sure you shoot as many projects as you can. Whether paid or not paid, shoot just to make sure you get a hang of the camera. But if you really want to know exactly things you need to pay attention to when you are filming with your camera, make sure just get my DSLR cinematic film making course. I went through all the important settings that a person can do in a camera. All the important settings are there in that course. Just go through that website and you will thank me. Is Canon good with flat style, and is it good? Which is the best setting for music video? The best setting depends on what you are shooting. If you are shooting, let's say, a wedding video, the settings that you use on a wedding video is different from the ones that you use on a music video, on a corporate video. On a corporate video, someone is talking like the way I'm talking, you don't really need to shoot in higher frame rate. So settings will vary. What is important for you is to understand which settings needs to be set and what do they do and how do they affect your image. So those are the stuff that I teach in my courses, DSLR cinematic filmmaking. Just check out that course. I've gone through all such kind of stuff. All right. Mr. Donald here says, as in type of lens rather than focal length, what is more important, camera body or lenses? For me, lenses are more important than the camera body itself, because the lenses are the ones that bring light inside the camera. So if you have really a good lens, even with a cheaper camera, you can still get good results. But if you have a most expensive camera with a very cheap lens, it's still going to be very difficult. That's why lenses are more expensive than even camera bodies, you know. Don't think a camera is the first thing you need to get, then you get lenses and stuff. No, lenses are actually more expensive than camera bodies. The lens that I'm using on the Lumix GH5 right now, it's almost twice the price of the camera itself, you know. It's almost twice the camera itself. So for me, it goes also, it's personal preference, because for me, I'm a person who likes to experiment with different lenses. I'm a person who likes to experiment with different lenses, because different lenses have got different looks. So if I feel like I've been using this lens for a lot and my videos are starting to look the same, I'll try to change lenses and stuff like that. So for me, lenses comes number one. But for some of you, maybe the camera is important. I am an upcoming photographer in Uganda. I have learned a lot from you, Mr. San. Thank you so much, Mr. Mvili Media. Thank you, thank you. I am too late tonight, hoping to catch a little early next time. Tomorrow again, I'll be live from 6 to 7. So yeah, we are about to close now. I'm from Kenya. Okay, I answered this one. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to catch up again tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can just let them, you can just ask me. All my numbers, my WhatsApp number is on all my social media. I have all these awesome classes that you can get and sharpen your skills of videography, you know. Don't start videography by guessing. Oh, you are on set, that's when you are guessing which settings should I use. No, you have to actually really understand. It will be fun and it will be easier and you'll be able to make good videos. So these are the courses that are available right now. And if you get any of these courses, I'm giving away this Blackmagic camera. Or where is it? This Blackmagic camera 4K. I'm giving away this drone right here. I'm giving away even the Atel Mini. I'm giving away all this kind of stuff. So this stuff, I usually buy them when I'm creating courses. But after the courses are over, I don't have anything to use them for. So I usually support my students who buy. These are not the first stuff I've given. I've given maybe over 20 camera bodies already. I've given a lot of video lights, microphones to my students, things that I don't use, right? Because for me, I usually buy a lot of this stuff. When I'm making a course, I'll buy many different types of cameras so that at least I can have a lot to teach on different cameras and stuff. So after the course is launched, I don't have anything to use them. So most of these stuff, I sell them very cheap. Some of the stuff that are failing to sell, I just give away to some of my students in the course itself. So the next 10 people who are buying this course, any of the courses that I have shown you, they will get a chance to walk away with the stuff that I have shown you. I'll see you again tomorrow. If you have any suggestion of the topic that we need to discuss tomorrow, just let me know in the comment sections. And also, if I didn't answer your questions, I always spend like 30 minutes to just go through all the questions after the live to make sure that I answer even the ones that I forgot. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a lovely evening. I'll see you again tomorrow.